Good evening. Good Sunday to you. Let Bullets for Life here. Guys, today I want to talk about the shooting that I did yesterday with the three 32 caliber loads. Basically, I want to talk about the aftermath of it. Before, of course, I had the went to the range. My Ruger SP101 was clean and polished and lubricated, and so my complaint was after about 180 rounds shooting different sized cartridges, the cylinder started to bind up on me, and so I'm pretty sure that the short cases may have had something to do with getting it fouled up right about here. You know, when the round comes out, it's building up in here, and then of course as I push in the ejector, you know, the dirt from the ejector will go inside. So anyways, what happened was it was really dirty. So what I did was I scrubbed it out, and then I figured what it was. So inside your yoke here, where your cylinder spins on its axis, right? Well, what I did was I made the mistake of lubricating it. Okay, I put some of the lubricating grease that came with the carbo shim kit, and I figured, well, it'll be polished up and give it a little extra oil, you know, it'll run smoother. Well, how wrong I was. So here's what happens, guys. Anytime you put lubrication inside areas where gunpowder is going to be exposed, it's going to turn your oil into mud. Basically what's happened. So basically what happened was, as the short rounds were being fired and building up residue here and ejecting back and forth, I was ejecting dirt inside the crane here, where the star extractor rides, and also right in here where the yoke is at. So basically what happened was the blast, as you can see here, the blast basically went down, forced its way into the yoke channel, and it got into the oil, or the grease basically, and just turned into mud. So after about 180 rounds of heavy firing, it just stopped working. I mean, it was tight as this, you know, it just wouldn't move at all. So of course, you know, I put a little WD-40 on it, loosened it up, scrubbed it, and got the cylinder open. Took it apart all the way down, cylinder, everything, you name it, took it apart. Took some mothers, polished everything up, and then I started to pull the yoke out, and man, the pin that goes to the yoke was really bad. It just looked like someone took a welding torch to it. But basically what it was, again, it was just the carbon buildup inside, where it just, you know, and the oil or the grease was actually absorbing the dirt, and basically just binded everything up. And so it's very similar to what a black powder gun would do to a revolver, you know, in heavy firing. But you know, it's back to normal. As you can see, it's spinning like freely right now. Really good. Really polished it up, and then on the inside, you know, it's even the ejector is a little bit better. So what I did, well, the inside, I took a screwdriver and I put it in between here on the star extractor to keep it open, and now I was able to get inside the channel and then really clean it up with some number 9 and some WD-40, and just take a cotton swab it out. Took some paper towels and something small to spin it back and forth, you know, until it got dry. So I just kept putting it back and forth, you know, putting in cylinder, and until it became clean again. So once it got clean, I left it alone, kept it dry, polished, and that's all I did to it. I just polished it up and just left it at that, and then of course now if you look at it, the thing just spins freely. That was a good 6 seconds there. Well, I think it's spinning really good. But anyways, you know, lesson learned on this one here. So today, I wet tumbled some brass. Brass is all back to factory specs again, inside and out. And what I wanted to show you guys was the primers back here. You know, they're in really good shape. Now let me show you the little 32 shorts. As a matter of fact, I only shot a few of the shorts, maybe about 40 of them. But if you look, the primers are dimpled just right. and that 1.3 grains of Lion Red Dot and that 104 grain lead bullet, you know, I was expecting to see pressure signs, but I did not, you know. So and it's fired, you know, in the 600 and a half range, so I was pretty happy with that. So today, guys, I made about 365 of these sweet, pristine, 104 grain lead round nose 312 size or 313 size bullets, and I'll be ready for the next shoot. Speaking of which, the next shoot. So I'm checking the website for my county ranges, and the whole month of August is booked up. I booked a reservation for the 6th of September, and I said, well, I need to make a video before that. So I checked a few other ranges up here. The one in Los Altos when I go to, it was they only give you a 7-day advance on it, and it's 29 bucks now. It's a lot of money. And so I'm gonna check it again next, maybe Monday or tomorrow or the next day, and then see if they have anything for the weekend on the 15th. You know, I want to try to get up there, you know, because Mom's birthday is in that, between that area, and I need to go see Mom before she, you know, gives me the silent treatment again. But anyways, guys, don't miss your Mom's birthday, please. Gosh, he'll pay for it dearly. Because I want to do another video on the power pistol. Now I want to do power pistol for all three of the cartridges, the short, the long, and the 32 H&R Magnum. You know. Also, I have I bought a box of 100 grain XTPs from Hornady during the midway sale. Now I wanted the 85 grainers, you know, and you know, Gun Sam, he gave me a recommendation on an 85 grain load that he used with Tight Group, and I wanted to do the same but with the HP 38. Unfortunately, you know, they were all out of the 85 grain hollow point, so I opted for the 100 grain. I think the 100 grain will give you a little bit better accuracy and better pressure curve anyways. So I see a lot of forums that use the 100 grain bullet. You know, they talk about the 90 and the 85 grainers, you know, being very fast, but not as accurate as the heavier bullets. So I will do a video on that one as well, and I'm looking at making the jacketed hollow points into either a 296 load, a power pistol load, and a HP 38 load. So, you know, I'll take about 10 rounds and make about you know, 10 rounds with one powder, and then 10 rounds with another powder, and we'll do it that way too. So anyways, I'm gonna check to see if I can get maybe a booking for the 15th at Los Altos. You know, I'll pay the 30 bucks. You know, no big deal. But I need to get this video out, and you know, I'm really stoked about the 32 caliber, and it's so far you know, it's been a surprising little cartridge, you know, and I've been missing out all these years not having a 32 caliber. You know, 38 special is like the big boy, you know, in my neck of the woods, or considered small in my neck of the woods. You know, and anything like past 45 is a big, you know, big gun. But again, you know, it's just a joy to shoot these little 32s, and making them is just half the fun. But anyways, guys, lesson learned on care and maintenance for your revolvers. You know, there are some areas that you need to lubricate, of course, trigger assembly and a hammer. As far as the yoke goes and the cylinder axis, just polish it up is all you need. You don't need to lubricate it up. Again, you know, once that oil gets contaminated in there, it just comes up the works, you know, and it felt like somebody had welded the gun shut, you know. So fortunately, I was able to. I mean, it just comes out easily now, just like that. You know, I just love spinning that thing. It just do that. Just hasn't stopped. I can almost smoke a cigarette with that if I smoked again. But guys, I'm preparing basically, as you see, with the brass and the bullets. You know, I had plenty of time on my hands today, After I got home yesterday, Saturday afternoon, I took the gun apart right away and just started cleaning it, and took my time polishing everything up, looking over the gun itself to make sure that nothing else was hindering the performance of the revolver. You know, Ruger does make a fine revolver. Unfortunately, there's a lot of small little defects, you know, factory defects. Now, I just found out that my trigger is not what it appears to be. Like if I pull a trigger, as you see, there's no rounds in the chamber. If I pull a trigger, it rotates. Now, I'm pulling it straight back. Now, if I pull the pressure to the left side of the trigger, here's what happens. It's stuck. And I've heard reports of GP100s, a lot of these Rugers doing the same thing. You know, I'm not sure what's causing it, but if I pull it straight back, it runs good. But if I just put a little pressure to the left of it, it binds up. So I have 2 shims inside the trigger assembly, and I was thinking about maybe taking one of the shims on the right, putting it on the left side to add pressure to it, to maybe move it over to the right some more, so to actually get the trigger to move. It might be the reason, or just my new trigger. It will see. And I really want to get it fixed, you know, professionally by Ruger. I don't know how long it'll take, and I don't like leave my, you know, send my guns out and having nothing to shoot, you know, for the test. But I'll go as far as I can with it, you know, until I mean, see how it works now. But as soon as I put pressure on the other side of it locks up. But anyway, that's the only issue I have with the gun. But other than that, I mean, it still fires double action. Just gotta, you know, kind of baby a little bit. Just make sure you pull straight back on it. And of course, it's smooth as glass. But anyways, guys, there's a lot of potential for this cartridge, and a lot of bullets to use. Matter of fact, I like to use a heavier bullet. I'm thinking about going the 115 grain. If I can find a mold for it, you know, the RCBS 115 grain, I think it's a 311 something something. But anyways, that'd be a perfect bullet. I've seen the forums and some of the recipes for the 115 grain, even in the 32 Colt long. Now, of course, the 32 H&R Magnum, it fires it beautifully out of there. And again, I think the 32 H&R Magnum cartridge is long enough to do most Magnum to do. And I think the 32 H&R Magnum, and I've proved this already, actually can do a lot of applications that the 327 Magnum can do as well. But I've seen, you know, the forums where the 32 H&R Magnum was just using heavier bullets, all the way up to 130 grain bullets, you know, and with great accuracy. And a lot of these people were using their single actions, you know, from 4.5 to 7-inch barrels, you know, to get good power out of them. But this is not for hunting. This is just for target shooting, you know. But I would like to get maybe the 115 grain just to try out my 32 H&R Magnum load, you know, maybe 1050 to 1100 feet per second. Now, speaking of the 32 H&R, when I was loading up that 4 grains of power pistol, even though it was only going 870 feet per second, you know, you could feel it was quite a punch in it. You know, it being a smaller gun too. I mean, I can imagine what it felt like if it was a LCR, you know, and 327 Federal Magnum. It probably have even more kick, but it kicked enough to where it was manageable. It was comfortable. It was just, you just know that you were shooting a 32 Magnum, you know, when you pull that trigger. Now of course the little 32 shorts, you know, little pop gun loads, they were fun to shoot. And then of course you have the 32 longs, which, you know, are in between both. And, you know, of course there's not much recoil, you know, compared to both the cartridges, the 32 H&R Magnum and the 32 short. So it's like right in the middle there. So 700 feet per second, 750 feet per second was just perfect for this 32 long, and it shot great. And it just made shooting this little revolver just more enjoyable. You know, you don't need a lot of kaboom. You know, that's all great for hunting and all, but for target shooting, hitting paper, you know, you just need a round out there that's accurate enough, you know, to make it even more enjoyable. But anyways, guys, that's all I have to say for now. You guys have a good Sunday. This is Leadbelt's Life. Thanks for joining me. we'll talk to you at the next video. And hopefully that'll be around the 15th or so I got to check the schedule on the Los Altos Run Gun Club. If not, then I'll have to go all the way up to Livermore, which is about an hour away, almost an hour away. So either or, I'll get the video out, and you know, I got a few more recipes I got to try out with the 32 H&R Magnum. But anyways, guys, we'll talk at you later. Live Boats Life. Have a good weekend, and please rate, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more upcoming videos. Bye for now.